Hello, my name is Ian. I'm currently 20 years old and I have my first rental property under my belt. I'm going to show you the real numbers, not the Instagram version. I'll tell you what I paid for, what it rents for, and if it actually makes money. So let's dive in. So my property is a duplex, meaning it has two renters in the property. I got it for $42,000 off of the market. We had a $20,000 rehab budget put into the loan, so total in all costs was $62,000. And the reason why I felt comfortable buying at this price was because just based on how much money I'm getting for rent compared to the mortgage. So the loan type that I used was a commercial loan. The difference between a commercial loan and a mortgage loan is that the commercial loan allows you to take into account how much the property is actually going to make. So they'll take into account how much you're making for rent, and then they'll also take into account how much the mortgage is going to cost, and then they'll decide whether they can give you the loan. My current monthly mortgage is about $400 a month, and I had to use a cosigner in order to get this loan because I wasn't making any money because I was in college. And currently my plan is to refinance after I rehabbed it. I already rehabbed it, so the refinance is currently in process, and I'll make a video about that later. So it's a duplex, obviously, so there's 2 units, so the rent that I'm getting per unit is about $1,300 per unit. So my total monthly rent is $2,600, and the reason why I think the rent is realistic for the area is because I've looked at the market and I've taken into account what other people are renting for, and that's just the current rent that seemed reasonable to me. So my current monthly expenses are my mortgage, which is $400 a month. My estimated taxes and insurance is about $150 to $200 a month. I have to have a maintenance buffer to ensure that I can pay for any thing that pops up, so I put that about at $260 a month. Vacancy buffer, 10% of your gross rent, so $260 a month. So my total expenses come out to about $1,000 a month. And I'm keeping all of these numbers extremely conservative on purpose because I'm currently early in the game and I'm not exactly too sure what I should be setting these ranges at. So currently, cash flow wise, my total rent is $2,600 a month. My total expenses is roughly $1,000 a month, and my estimated monthly cash flow is then positive of $1,600 a month. And so even if something were to go wrong, I'm not exactly stressing each month because I have a net positive in my cash flow. So currently my property's value is at about $62,000 because it costs $42,000 to purchase the actual house, and then it costs an extra $20,000 to actually rehab the house. But then after rehabbing the house, you can then do the cash out refinance, and I'm expecting it to get put at about $175,000, which would leave me with about $90,000 cash, slightly lower than that. But ultimately, my whole long-term goal here is to use the BRRRR method as many times as I can so I can keep growing my business and keep growing this rental property business that I have. So one of the biggest lessons I've learned so far is that the rehab cost was way higher than what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was only going to cost $20,000. It turns out it cost $23,000. So the extra $3,000 had to come out of pocket because the loan couldn't cover that. And something that also surprised me in the more positive side was how much I can get for rent in my current market. For having a mortgage that is currently $400 and you're making $2,600 off of rent, that's just, those numbers are good. They're good numbers. So closing out, this isn't a flex, this is just what my first deal looks like. you're young or just starting out, this is proof that you don't need a perfect situation to get into this business. And just drop me a comment in the comments saying what I should do next, or what your first rental property was like. And if you guys would like me to break down the rehab or how I found this deal, just let me know. Hit the subscribe button, drop a like. Thank you so much. Peace.